Comrades and friends, good day to you all. This is Global Weekly News, serial number 35. First, we are going to see Ukraine war. On 24th February is the first anniversary of Russia's Ukraine war. What Russia started as a special military operation against Ukraine has now become aerial attacks also. Russia, it seems, will intensify bombing from air. Western capitalist countries, including US, are continually supplying arms and ammunition to Ukraine. Still, Ukraine is not in a successful position to face Russia. Therefore, Ukraine war will continue. The Security Minister of UK, United Kingdom, is putting pressure on the Finance Minister to increase the aid to Ukraine by allotting more funds in the budget for that purpose. The present Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, along with the Security Minister, pressurized ex-Prime Minister Liz Truss to allot more funds to the military in the budget. Official inflation rate in United Kingdom has come down from 10.5% to 10.1%. All are happy about this, but there is nothing favorable for ordinary people in the budget. British fuel and gas companies have amassed huge profits in the last quarter, but people's living standards are deteriorating. Many analysis statistics show their deterioration. Media expresses its happiness about fall in inflation. In 2022 November, Emmanuel Macron of France had enhanced military expenses 36% more compared to 2017. This is 4,290 crore euros. The extra amount. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and French President Emmanuel Macron took part in a joint TV discussion. Then Modi said that India will purchase more Airbus planes from France. He also announced that India will buy more Boeing planes from USA. United Kingdom, in its present military budget, has allotted 1,100 crore sterling more. Already, United Kingdom had supported Ukraine 2,300 crore sterling worth hardware. From UK and other capitalist countries, old weapons stocks are sent to Ukraine, and then they purchase recent model of weapons from corporate producers. The capitalist countries are not really extending international solidarity to Ukraine. They want a prolonged war to increase profits and wealth of corporate arms producers. US also sends its old stock of weapons from its Israeli warehouses and gives new weapons to Israel. Due to the pressure of Donald Trump, NATO member countries are forced to extend military aid to Ukraine to the tune of 2% of GDP. Greece, United States, Croatia, and United Kingdom, etc., are doing this. So far, it is the United States of America which has extended the maximum aid to Ukraine, that is $1 trillion, that means 1 lakh crore dollars aid. Next, UK comes with 7,200 crore dollars to Ukraine. There is a big gap, but still UK, without bothering about taking care of the interests of ordinary people in United Kingdom, is sending more aid to Ukraine. Second, we are going to see the anti-Palestine stand of the United Kingdom. Not showing concern for upliftment of people's living standards in United Kingdom has a political impact also. United Kingdom's Labour Party is expelling those who oppose aid to Ukraine and those who support Palestinian cause. Presently, the Conservative Party is in power. Labour Party is in the opposition. Labour Party supports sending more aid to Ukraine by increasing the military budget. The Labour Party leader, Keir Starmer, recently visited Ukraine, met the Ukrainian President Zelensky, and extended full support to him. Pro-Ukraine stand of the ruling party is supported by the opposition also. If Labour Party comes to power in the next round of elections, it will also extend more aid to Ukraine. Jeremy Corbyn is an important leader of the Labour Party. He is an MP from Islington North constituency for the past 40 years. Jeremy Corbyn is an anti-Semitist for many years. That is against Israel. Labour Party has now banned Jeremy Corbyn from contesting in future elections. This was announced by Labour Party leader Keir Starmer on 15th February. This is an attack on democracy. Party leaders can't decide about the candidate. It is only the voters who can decide this, retaliated Jeremy Corbyn. In 2019, Jeremy Corbyn contested for the post of Prime Minister as a Labour Party candidate and lost the elections. From then onwards, the Labour Party lost its recognition, according to Starmer. If anybody does not like banning of Jeremy Corbyn from contesting the election, he can very well leave the party, Starmer said. Those who believe in democracy shall oppose the ban, Jeremy Corbyn emphasized. Equality and Human Rights Commission took a stand against the Labour Party for its opposition to anti-Semitism in the end of 2020. The Commission took some measures in this regard but now changed its position. Corbyn refused to accept the Commission's allegation. Labour Party suspended Jeremy Corbyn pending investigation. Starmer's most recent ban on Corbyn is the most recent blow of the long campaign against him. Many believe that the accusations of anti-Semitism are a thin cover for pushing out anyone who is critical of Israel, supportive of the Palestinian struggle for liberation, or has any socialist leanings. According to research by Jewish Voice for Labour under Starmer's leadership, Jewish members of the Labour Party are on average 37% more likely to be investigated for anti-Semitism than non-Jewish members. The Labour Party also ejected 3 prominent Jewish members last year. It is the cruel crime of the Labour Party to effectively designate progressive or socialist Jewish political traditions as anti-Semitic, wrote the Jewish Voice for Labour statement. Third, we go to Israel's Citizenship Law Amendment. Israel's parliament enacted citizenship law in 1952. The Jews formed Israel by occupying Palestinian territories in 1948. Palestinians are Arab Muslims. On 15th February, the parliament passed an amendment to Citizenship Act. Out of 120 MPs, 94 supported and 10 Arab MPs only opposed. As per the amended act, Israel's Interior Ministry will investigate, take away the rights of citizenship of Israeli citizens and deport them, send them to occupied areas of West Bank and Gaza. As per this amended act, Israel's citizens and residents in occupied East Jerusalem will be alleged as terrorists and then sent or deported to West Bank and Gaza. The amended act will be used to victimize those Israeli citizens or residents in occupied East Jerusalem getting aid from Palestinian Authority or its affiliated organizations by branding them as terrorists. Only the Arabs will receive aid from the Palestinian Authority and the affiliated organizations. That means amended act will be vindictive towards Arab citizens. It won't hurt Jews. If anyone opposes Israel's occupation policy, he will be treated as a terrorist. In 1980, Israel illegally seized East Jerusalem and then issued citizenship rights to Palestinians. Arab MPs allege this act as an apartheid act and racist. Palestinians and social activists say that this act is another example for Israel's apartheid. Another amendment to deport Israeli citizens in the name of anti-terrorism allows to deport, send their family members also, was approved with a clear majority. The effects of these amendments will be worse to the Palestinians. If Palestinians living in East Jerusalem are deported to West Bank and Gaza, it will be very difficult to meet their relatives. They have to cross many Israeli checkpoints and face many restrictions. Since 2021, Palestinians are more on struggle path against apartheid policies of Israel. Israel Defense Minister Ben Gvir said that the basic facilities to prisoners will be curtailed, will be reduced, and declared Palestinian prisoners as terrorists. The Emergency Commission on the Affairs of Palestinian Prisoners issued a statement that there will be civil disobedience movement inside the jails against the jail authorities. From the start of 2023, repression and torture of Palestinian prisoners has increased. The prisoners will disobey the orders of jail warders by blocking the checkpoints. After Ramzan in 22 March, the prisoners will resort to indefinite hunger strike. There are 4,780 Palestinian prisoners, including 160 children and 29 women. 915 of them are there in jails without any charges or trial. Prisoners are not given fresh bread. Bakeries in 2 jails were closed last month. Comrades and friends, we are going to see the progressive reforms in Colombia. Good news. In Colombia, South American country, left Gustavo Petro was elected as president. He promised during elections to carry out pro-working class measures. On 14th February, tens and thousands of people came to the streets welcoming the economic and social reforms of Gustavo Petro. In various cities of Colombia, people conducted rallies in support of Gustavo Petro and Vice President Francia Marquez. In the capital city, Bogota, left political party members, popular organizations, social movements, trade unions, and people in general took part in the rally in support of Gustavo Petro and his reforms. Gustavo, with the intention to carry out progressive reforms, gave a call to the people to rally in favor of him. Health is not a privilege. It is neither a business. It shall be treated as a right. Basic health, disease prevention, national level extended health facilities, wage revision for health staff, elimination of corruption, etc. are the reform measures of Gustavo Petro. Even if the peasant's house is very interior place, the doctors shall have the facility to go and reach him. Health budget will be expanded through taxes. Workers, pension, universal education, subsidies to poor old people will also be reformed. Gustavo Petro government has negated new liberal policy and carry forward pro-people measures. Petro has developed relations with Cuba and Venezuela. The far-right forces in Colombia are agitating against Gustavo's reforms. That is why Gustavo Petro called for people's support for his supporting his progressive reforms. Comrades, Cuba is not a terrorist country. America has placed Cuba in a list of states sponsoring terrorism. This is creating many hurdles for Cuba in getting so many essential goods. This is stated by US veteran philosopher and political activist Noam Chomsky, is very aged comrade, and Leftward Books editor Vijay Prasad. For more than 6 decades, US embargo sanctions on Cuba continues, affecting 1.1 crore people of Cuba. Hunger, diseases, and illiteracy prevalent in many capitalist countries are not there in Cuba. In the health sector, Cuba has progressed much more. Cuba is sending medical teams to people affected by corona, earthquake, etc. to various countries, including advanced Italy. Cuba is not exporting terrorism as America does. At the end of Donald Trump's term, US included Cuba in the list of states sponsoring terrorism. This is a vindictive action. Cuba played a very big role in bringing peace in Colombia, affected by civil war and the resultant death of thousands of Colombian civilians from 1948 onwards. US alleged that Cuba has given asylum to Colombia's guerrilla groups. 2 years are over since Joe Biden took office as president. Even now, the evil policy towards Cuba continues. Joe Biden can just open his pen and sign an order removing Cuba from the states sponsoring terrorism list. At the time of elections, Biden promised to do so, but not yet fulfilled that. There shall be no more delay in this regard. Noam Chomsky and Vijay Prasad stressed this in their joint statement on 12th February. Comrades and friends, Release Mumia Abu Jamal. Black US prisoner, militant and journalist Mumia Abu Jamal, a black man, is in US jail for 42 years at a stretch. Mumia belongs to Black Panther Party. He is alleged to have killed a white policeman, Daniel Balkner. The court ordered to hang him, but later on the death sentence was commuted to life sentence. He was kept in solitary confinement for 23 hours a day. The witnesses against Mumia are given incentives and gifts by the government. The criminal witnesses will be treated favorably in the court, the government promised them. International Longshore and Warehouse Union, ILWU members, port workers in US western ports closed the ports and 20,000 of them protested in the streets of California on April 1999. The teachers of Brazil also went on strike at the same time. Due to these struggles, death sentence was commuted to life sentence. Nelson Mandela, after 26 years of incarceration, was released. He praised the efforts of ILW Union, International Longshore and Warehouse Union's efforts. That was praised by Nelson Mandela. The allegation against Mumia is false. This is exposed many times. Still, the court refuses to release Mumia. From 16th February to 16th March, 1 month, all over the world, trade unions and people's movements decided to campaign for the release of Mumia. National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa is having a membership of 3.5 lakhs. The General Secretary of this union sent a detailed long letter to Philadelphia Judge Lucretia Clements to release Mumia. On 17th February, this letter was written. In Cuba, old jails are becoming bookshelves now. In US jail, Mumia is not even given good treatment for his ill health. Lastly, we are going to see elections in Nigeria. Nigeria, an African country, is having 9.3 crore voters. Elections in Nigeria for president, vice president, etc. will take place on 25th February. 18 political parties are contesting. Comrades, with this, I finish this week's Global Weekly News. See you next week. Lal Salam.